morning, students. Now coming to the most important chapter, new chapter, morphology of flowering plants. Now coming to the subtopic to root. Students, Theophrastus is considered as a father of botany, and also he published a book that is so Theophrastus was the father of botany. Book written by Theophrastus, Historia Plantarum. That is the book published by scientist Theophrastus. So this morphology of flowering plants, it explains morphology of external and internal characters of plant organs like root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, seed, etc. Okay? So, angiospermic plants means flowering plants. They are most advanced plants on earth. Angiosperms are the most advanced plants. Angiosperms are nothing but flowering plants. Most advanced plants on the earth. Every angiospermic plant is represented by two systems. One is a root system, second one is a shoot system. Okay? One is a root system. And second one is a shoot system. There are two systems in any angiospermic plant body. The part of the plant present internal to the ground, present inside the soil, that is called root system. It is developed from primary root, that is radicle. Is developed from radicle. Primary root is also called radicle. Developed from radicle. And root system, it grows positively geotropic manner. Geotropic manner. Positively geotropic manner means negatively phototropic manner. Means root always grows into the soil, that is positively geotropic manner and negatively phototropic manner. But what about the shoot system? Shoot system is developed from the primary stem, that is called plumule. This is called plumule. Okay. Now this is considered as the primary shoot, primary stem. At the same time, it grows positively phototropic manner. Positively phototropic manner. So, growth of root system and shoot system is quite reverse. One is grows positively geotropic manner, that is root system, and other one is grows positively phototropic manner, that is negatively geotropic manner. This is considered as a shoot system. So, in this way, there are two systems. Similarly, the main axis of the root system, it is considered as a root. Define root, main axis. Okay, main axis of root system. Main axis of root system, it is called root. Okay, main axis of the root system is called root. So, in case of dicotyledonous plants, in dicots, okay, in dicots, radicle it grows continuously. Radicle it elongates into the soil like this. This is ground surface. and this is stem. Radical, it grows directly into the soil. This is radical. Okay. So in case of dicotyledonous plants, direct elongation of radicle, it is considered as taproot. Radicle directly elongates into the soil to develop into the main root, that is taproot. Then this radicle, it is also divided into number of lateral roots like this. This called lateral roots. Okay. Similarly, these lateral roots are also divided into some branches. Such roots are called, branches of lateral roots are called rootlets. Okay. In this way, in case of dicotyledonous plants, radicle directly elongates into the soil, leading to the formation of taproot. This is taproot. This is also considered as primary root. Taproot is also called primary root. And then these lateral roots are also divided. Taproot also divides into some branches. They are called lateral roots. These lateral roots are also called secondary roots. Lateral roots are also called secondary roots. Now these lateral roots are also divided into branches. They are considered as rootlets. They are also considered as tertiary roots. In this way, radicle directly elongates into the soil to develop into a taproot, primary root. Now primary root is also divided into lateral roots, means secondary roots. Now these secondary roots are also divided to form very small roots called rootlets. Now these rootlets are called tertiary roots. Okay. In case of dicotyledonous plants, lateral roots origin is endogenous in origin. Lateral roots endogenous in origin. Endogenous in origin. Endogenous in origin. What is the meaning of endogenous in origin? Endo means inner, lower. These lateral roots are developed from the inner part of the root system, that is from pericycle. Pericycle is the internal part of the root. Now these lateral roots are developed from the pericycle. As these lateral roots are developed from internal part of the root, that is from pericycle, their origin is considered as endogenous in origin. Endogenous in origin. Very, very important. Lateral roots are endogenous in origin. They are developed from internal part of the root, that is pericycle. They are developed from pericycle. So, this type of root system, okay, this type of root system which is generally present in dicotyledonous plants, this is considered as a taproot system. This is a taproot system because taproot is there. Taproot system. Okay. This taproot system is common in dicotyledonous plants. This is one of the root systems. Generally, root systems are of two types: taproot system, fibrous root system, or adventitious root system. This is taproot system, consisting of central large root taproot, which in turn produce lateral roots in endogenous in origin. Then, in turn, these lateral roots are also divided to form rootlets. Now, these rootlets are also called tertiary root systems. Now, coming to the next type of root system, which is commonly found in monocotyledonous plants. That is called, in case of monocots, Okay. In case of monocots, for example, this is the ground surface. Okay. And this is the stem. In case of monocotyledonous plants, initially taproot is formed. Initially taproot is formed, but soon this taproot system it is replaced by a tuft of slender hair-like identical roots like this. After the elimination of taproots, after the complete elimination of the taproot is soon replaced by taproot is soon replaced by a tuft of slender identical roots. These tuft of slender identical roots, this type of system is called fibrous. Okay, fibrous root system. This is a fibrous root system. Commonly is found in monocotyledonous plants, monocots. Okay. So here radical is initially there, but soon this radical is replaced by a tuft of slender identical hair-like roots. Such root system is called fibrous root system. This is called fibrous root system. Generally, this is present in monocotyledonous plants. In this way, in angiosperms there are two different kinds of root systems. One is taproot system, common in dicotyledonous plants, and monocot root system, that is fibrous root system. Generally, this is present in monocotyledonous plants. Okay, but what is the difference between this taproot system and fibrous root system? This is fibrous root system. Okay. And this is taproot system. What's the difference between these two root systems? This root system is present in dicotyledonous plants. This root system is present in monocotyledonous plants. This is the first difference. Okay. Now coming to the second difference. This is a root system which is developed from radicle. But this is a root system which is developed after the elimination of radical. This is not from radical. This is from radical. 1, 2, 3. And taproot system is present. And lateral roots are also present. Taproot is completely absent. All these roots are slender, identical, and hair-like tuft of root systems present at the base of stem. Okay. Now coming to another point, very important. In some plants, okay, in some plants like Monstera, okay, Monstera and Banyan, Monstera and Banyan. Banyan means fig tree, okay. In case of Monstera and Banyan, roots are developed from any part of the plant body other than the radicle. In this type of plants, roots are developed from any part of the plant body other than the radicle. The root system, the roots which are developed from any part of the plant body other than radicle, that is called adventitious root system. That is very important. Okay, adventitious root system. Okay, this is called adventitious root system. But what is the difference between fibrous root system and adventitious root system? Both are not developed from the radicle, but always fibrous root system is present at the base of stem, only at the base of stem. But adventitious roots may develop from any part of the plant body. For example, in case of banyan, okay, large roots, they are freely hanging in atmosphere first. Now they enter into the soil, then they become the pillar-like structures, prop roots. They provide mechanical support. So, in case of banyan tree, the adventitious roots are developed from aerial branches. Okay? In this way, roots which are developed from any part of the plant body other than radicle, that is called adventitious root system. Generally, this is present in monstera and banyan tree, which is also called fig tree. Okay? In this way, there are two types of root systems in angiosperms. In dicots, tap root system, and in monocots, fibrous root system. In addition with these two systems, there is another root system which is developed from any part of the plant body other than radicle. That is called adventitious root system. Some of the examples for this system, monstera and banyan tree. Students, now coming to regions of root. Very, very important. Regions. Okay? Regions of root. Students, the primary root system is represented by mainly three regions. There are three regions. Okay? This is, for example, this is the root. Okay? This is a primary root. Okay? Primary root. Every primary root, it is also the actively growing tip of the primary root. It also protected and surrounded by a thimble-like protecting sheath. Such a thimble-like protecting sheath, this is considered as a root cap. This is a root cap. This is root cap. Okay? Actively growing, the tip of a primary root is consists of a thimble-like protecting sheath. Such a thimble-like protecting sheath of the root, this is called cap, root cap. This is called root cap. Okay? This root cap, it is protection to meristematic cells present at the tip of root system while growing inside the soil particles. Is protection in function. Okay? At the same time, this root cap is also replaced by root pockets in case of some free floating hydrophytes like Pistia and Icordia. Caps are present in terrestrial plants, means land plants. Pockets are present in free floating hydrophytes like Pistia and Icordia. They are balancing in function. It is protection in function. Anyhow, actively growing root tip is also covered by a thimble-like protecting sheath. Such a sheath is called root cap. Few millimeters above the root cap, okay, there is a actively dividing cells called meristems. Such region, this is considered as the region of meristematic activity. Region of meristematic activity. Okay? Region of meristematic activity. So, few millimeters above the root cap, there is a region that is called region of meristematic activity. Such a region, it is represented by number of actively dividing cells. Cell wall is made up of cellulose and very thin. Cell is filled with a dense cytoplasm. Actively dividing cells. Such cells, they are considered as meristems. They are called meristems. Small cells and cellulosic cell walls and dense protoplasm. Dense protoplasm. Actually dividing cells. They are the characteristic features of meristematic cells. So few millimeters above the root cap there is a zone that is called meristematic region of meristematic activity, which is represented by number of meristems. Cells are very small and cellulosic and dense cytoplasm and actually dividing cells. They produce new cells and add these new cells for the primary growth of the root system. Similarly, proximal to this region, proximal to the region of meristematic activity, proximal means at the base, proximal to this region, that is considered as region of elongation. Region of elongation. This is region of elongation. Cells present in this region, okay, cells present in this region, they undergo rapid elongation and enlargement. Cells present in this region gradually they are matures. Because of rapid elongation and enlargement of the cell, this region is responsible for elongation of the root. Growth of root in elongation. Growth of root in the length. Such region is called region of elongation. Similarly, the region proximal to this region of elongation, this is considered as maturation region. Maturation region. Maturation region. This is maturation region. This maturation region is represented by the cells which are highly mature. Okay, highly mature. Now, this region it is also represented by number of unicellular tubular extensions. Unicellular tubular extensions. These unicellular tubular extensions are called root hairs. Okay, root hairs are unicellular, very very important. Okay, root hair is unicellular and tubular and exogenous in origin. Exogenous origin, very very important. The cells which the unicellular tubular extensions present in this maturation region of the root, they are considered as root hairs. Root hairs are they are unicellular tubular extensions. They improve the surface absorption surface area of the root system. Absorption surface area of the root system. Greater the number of root hairs in any root system, greater the absorption surface area of the root system. Because of number of root hairs at this maturation region is also called root hair zone. Why this is called root hair zone? Root hairs are present in this zone, and all these are unicellular, tubular, exogenous lateral appendages. Lateral roots are endogenous in origin, but root hairs are exogenous in origin because they are originated from external part of the root, that is pericycle. So, these root hairs they play very significant role in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Absorption of water and minerals from the soil. So, every root system is consists of total three parts, three regions. One is the region of meristematic activity, second one the region of elongation, and third one maturation zone, which is also considered as a root hair zone. Okay, this is responsible for absorption of water and minerals from the soil. And elongation region is responsible for the elongation of the root. Okay, and region of meristematic activity is responsible for producing new cells by mitosis. Students, now coming to another point. Functions of root. Root is play very significant role in absorption of water and minerals. This is one. Second one, it provides mechanical support. Mechanical support. Provide mechanical support. And third one, store food material. Okay, store food material. But in some members, this root is also responsible for the secretion of growth regulators. Growth regulators. Okay, growth regulators like oxalates, cytokinins, like that. One is absorption of water and minerals. Second one is proper anchorage to the plant, means support. Third one, this is also stores some amount of food materials. And last one, growth, secretion of the growth regulators. They are the functions of root system. Okay.